This is Irontrader. This is the last call of the day, and actually the last call of the week. We're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas. But first of all, we're going to take a look at a Nasdaq seasonality chart, and then the Nasdaq daily and a weekly. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell, stock, any ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have a seasonality chart here for the Nasdaq. Now, you can go to equityclock.com, and they have seasonality charts on anything that you want to look at. I don't care if it's the Dow, the S&P, gold, silver, whatever. They have it right there for you, okay? Or you can go to my playlist. I have seasonality charts posted on there for you, along with candlestick charts and different kind of any kind of a charts there, looking for double bottoms, double tops, any kind of situation right on my playlist at your convenience. Okay, so this is what we have here. You always have this rally. Now, this chart is over a 20-year period, okay? So you always get that rally, and then you get that FOMO. Everybody's piling in. They think it's going to go higher. Well, it's the same thing every year, okay? Then it comes right down to we look at March, which we're right in right now, okay? We start getting that bottom, and then we start rolling all the way on up here, okay? So always look at a seasonality chart here. It just gives you an extra edge just to see exactly what happens, okay? So after you have that rally in January, it's kind of like flat. Then we get that nice rally, and then you can see here where we're having like a bottoming situation. Now, this year is going to be a little bit different because we got that tariff situation. Tariffs on, tariffs off, kind of says. So the market doesn't like uncertainty. And that's really what's holding the whole situation back. But we got a really good rally today. Nasdaq's up 416, Dow's up 625, the S&P is up 106 here so far right now. So just take a look at the equity clock charts here, and it gives you a good idea what seasonality is. Okay, let's look at a daily and a weekly. Okay, here we have Nasdaq daily and weekly. Okay, so you can see here where we sold right on off here. Okay, boom, there it is. See February. Comes up, ran right up in February, and then what do we have? Okay, right on down. So right now it's playing out just like it's supposed to, okay? So we got this low here of 17,238. Now you can see here where we put this double bottom situation here, and now we're starting to rally up here. So you got a key level here is going to be this 8 simple moving average. As you can see here, as this comes on down, that 8 days crawling, you can see how it fights it the whole way, okay? Very, very strong. So really the price has to get above that 8 day. That's going to be very, very key. Now, if it does, then what we have here is you have a lot of really nice targets, okay? So what do we do? If we can get above that, then we're going to be looking right to the bottom of this candle here, okay? 17,956 level, okay? And then what we do, we can come up to the bottom of this candle here. We're looking at 18,216, and then we're looking really the 18,417. Now, again, we have to always look at this is we had this double bottom situation, had to sell off. This could just be a relief rally into this 8 day. So we got to see what the reaction is once it gets to this 8 day at that 17,800. Does it just hit that and then come right back down again and do a sideways action to lower, or does it crack above that 8 day and then we hit that 200 SMA here? Okay, so just be a little bit cautious here. We'll always watch that 8 day. Very, very crucial. Okay. Now we look at RSI. We're way oversold conditions here. Same way with your MACD. We're sitting way on the bottom here. But if we can get it to curl up here, we can take it higher. But that 8 day is going to be everything. Now we look at a weekly. Well, you can see here we just this waterfall right on over. But now this is going to be very, very strong. It's going to be that 18,091 level. Okay, so if we can get above that 8 day simple moving average here, okay, that's 17,799, then this is what we want to watch here next. There's going to be a big resistance, going to be 18,91 level. Then again, if we can get above that, then we can retest the 21 day and possibly the 8 day, okay? Now, you can see all this 8 day is rolling over, but then it rolled over here, it rolled over here. So that doesn't mean that it can't roll back up again, but let's just see how that all shakes out. So realistically, on Nasdaq here, just watch that 8 day. You get above that, watch that 50 day, and let's see what the reaction is. Okay, let's take a look here now at Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin. Now, it's doing exactly the same thing as what I've been pointing out here, okay? It's trading with the overall market. When the market goes up, Bitcoin goes up, and it's going to be vice versa situation, okay? So here's what we have, okay? We had this big sideways action. The same thing pretty much is what is going on like with the Nasdaq and the S&P and the Dow kind of a situation. But right here, this is what we're looking for is this 8 day, okay? You're sitting at 84,793. Now you can see where we popped up a little bit today, but so far we have to close above it. That's going to be very, very key. That 84,800. You have to close above that bad boy. If your next target is going to be right there, 88,913. That's going to be your next target. And then we have to see what the reaction is, because how many times that we have hit this okay? And look how strong that 21-day simple moving average is. Now, again, if we get above that, then we have that 100-day, and then we have the 95,227. That's your 50-day, and then obviously we have this retest there at 99,765 level, which is basically just the top of that candle, okay? Downside here, well, this 200-day is everything, okay? So we got to really hold on to that 7723. If that's lost, then we go to the recent low at 76,735 level, okay? So that's what we're going to be looking at here. Now, again, if say this does get hammered, say this low, then we want to do is just look right to the left of the chart here. This is going to be your next support level, that 74485. Then we just come over to the left and we just follow this all the way down. You got 72,360 level. We got 825 level, and then we can just work yourself all the way down here. You got the 69,635, and then we have 67,135 level. But that's only if that 200-day is lost. But I like to show you this like I did on when we did Tesla, where the gap fills are, and Tesla came right down, filled that gap very, very nicely, and then rallied right up higher. Okay, so the charts are everything. Just like what we did is we filled this gap here, very, very nice. Now we're looking here to bust up higher. But the key is on the upside, just watch that 8-day. You get above that, then we got to go right to that 21-day. You get above that, 100-day, 50-day, and then retest. Okay, you can see here on the RSI here. See where that green that turned blue, okay? That shows you there where we had an oversold condition, came down, and we have this positive divergence. You notice you don't have no blue here on the second level here, okay? So came on down, made a positive divergence, and now we're going to try to rally up higher. So we have a lot of room to run because you're only sitting at 42, and we're sitting right on the bottom here, oversold conditions here out on your own MACD. So if we can get across above, that MACD measures momentum, and we can get a nice, good upside here, at least to that 21 simple moving average. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil natural gas. Okay, here we have the old crude ski and we have natty gas. Okay, so we look at the crude ski. It's not really doing a whole hell of a lot there today. We just have sideways action. Matter of fact, what we have is an inside day, which all it means is your high and your low is the inside of the previous day's candle. Okay, so what we're watching here is this 8-day. Now you can see we're holding it on a closing basis here very, very nicely. Okay, so that's what we want to do. But on the upside here, we're looking at this candle right here. This is that 68.22 because we're trading this box, 68.22 on the top and 65.22 on the bottom. Okay, we got that 3-point range is what we're trading. If it gets above that, then we have to look at right into that 21-day again at that 68.96 because here we go, hit it, almost hit it, almost hit it, can't do it. Okay, that's the key. So we crack above that, then you have your 100-day, your 50-day, and your 200-day. That's exactly what we're looking for. But again, we have to get above this box, okay? Now, if we lose that 8-day, well, your big target is going to be right down there of retest of 65.22. But we do have a nice bottom, double bottom here. So you have 65.22 there, and then look at here, we have 65.29. So we have a double bottom with a higher low. That's always what you want, and obviously we have ourselves a nice little rally. Now, if this 8-day can curl up above and keep rolling, we can push that price up towards that 21-day, and even if it backs and fills, we can still take it right on up here, maybe back to the 100-day, and then rally right on up. So let's just see how this all shakes out. Right now here, we're just trading this range here, this nice square box kind of a situation until we break up higher or we break down and we retest that 65.22 level. Okay, natural gas here, well, you know, it's working it here like a circus monkey. We came down here. What do we have here for a low today so far? 3.96. Yesterday you had 3.95. So we have ourselves another inside day here. Now you can see where it rallied up and it wants to push right against that 21-day again. Okay, but now you're still below it. So that's going to become your big resistance, 4.12. You get above that, and we look right here to that 8-day at 4.26. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. And then again, you get above that, and we're going to look right to the top of this candle at that 4.37 level, and then we come up here, 4.42, and then we can come up to the top of that candle at 4.58, 4.75, and then retest at 490. Okay, but we got to get above the 21-day and the 8-day. So okay, so if you get above that and above that 8-day, then we can just follow the candles up until we find the resistance all the way up to 490. Now, if we're struggling, we can't get a low above that. Then we got to look to yesterday's low. That's going to be key. That's at 3.95. That's lost. You're going to come right here to that 50-day at 3.83. Okay, now if that's lost, we can come to the bottom of these candles right here. Okay, so you're looking at 3.74 level here. We can come over here to the bottom of this candle at 3.55. But realistically, here's what you're looking for is that 100-day at 3.44 level. Okay, Just that simple. Now, this gap here was never filled, okay? So always want to keep that in mind here. See where we had this low about 3.16, and then we have a high here of 3.11. So there is a gap and a fill sitting right down here before you hit to that 200 side. So I always like to point that out because those gaps and fills are very good key support level. Now, we had this topping tail here. We had negative divergence going on the RSI here. And now we have that crossover, that green goes over the red. That's not really what you want to see. So again, we could get a sideways action, but let's see what happens there towards the 21-day and that 8-day. Okay, so when those futures open Sunday night, you're going to be watching today's candle. Okay, the high and the low of that 4.14 and 3.96. And then we have to see if it can get past that 21-day up to that 8-day. Okay, so always watch those futures when they open at 6 p.m. here. Now, if you're like if you're trade like on TOS system, Thinkorswim, you can actually on Sunday night they open it up at 8 o'clock, and you can actually start trading at 8 o'clock at night on Sunday. Okay, so always remember that. They always have that nice new feature, which is, I think, is pretty awesome. Okay, and then remember on Crude, we're just trading this box area until we break out. But your big target is going to be that 21-day. But watch that reaction. Very, very key. Okay, that's what I got for you. Now I'll be back here Sunday night here before 7 o'clock. I have a video for you. We're going to look at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas, and then we'll see what those futures are doing, get you all set up for Monday. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.